Hello, Health and Wellness Tribe. I was raised a really good question in our community recently about Candida. What is it and how can you solve it if you have it? So in this video, you're going to learn what the symptoms of Candida are and some tips that you can start doing today to help solve Candida in your gut. Candida overgrowth is not something that's recognized as an actual problem in the medical community, so unfortunately many people are suffering from it without even knowing it. If you're curious what kind of symptoms you might experience if you do have a Candida overgrowth, here is what they are. Profound fatigue, particularly around 2 p.m. You start to feel like you're crashing, you need to drink a cup of coffee, eat something sweet to bring you back to life. Bloating and just irregular bowel pattern, gas, rashes, acne, eczema, rosacea. You could be experiencing frequent infections like urinary tract infections or yeast infections. Not thinking clearly, feeling like you have a brain fog all the time. This was so incredibly noticeable once I healed how much brain fog I actually had. I want to add on that Candida overgrowth can cause mood issues. I'm talking anxiety and depression, just feeling really low all the time. These are all signs that you may have a Candida overgrowth. Last but not least is the carbohydrate and sugar cravings. Candida has this way of making you crave sugar because that's how it gets its energy and populates more. When you actually take away that sugar is when we start to see some of the results that we're going to talk about in a minute. It's time to give you the 4 steps that you can start today to start reducing Candida in your gut lining. Number 1 is reduce or completely eliminate sugar. Yes, it's really difficult and it's not something that sounds sexy at all. However, when you do that, so many other things in your health can start to improve and benefit. It makes it easier to lose weight because you're reducing your caloric intake, using your body to reduce inflammation because a lot of inflammation actually comes from sugar intake. Extra sugar and refined carbohydrates isn't helping anyone's blood sugar, and unfortunately, most people don't even know that sugar is causing such a problem. And that's why I believe that more people have a Candida overgrowth than we actually think sometimes. I believe that since our diet in the United States is so laden with sugar and we have to be so careful about reading our labels, really reducing the amount of sugar and refined carbohydrates. I'm talking like sodas, some yogurts have a lot of added sugar. You know, adding sugar to coffee and baking is obvious, but when you're looking at sauces, when you're looking at condiments, all those things, people aren't really even following the serving size on those, and you can end up eating a lot more sugar than you anticipate. The idea behind removing these sugars is to help starve the Candida because this is their preferred food source. If you can take away their most preferred food source, they're not going to be able to proliferate or be able to stay alive as well, especially when you're bringing in those supplements to help clear them out. Number 2 is another dietary one. This is going to help your overall gut health and help reduce leaky gut, but that's going to be diversifying the amount of plant foods that you have. They say that bringing in about 30 plant foods per week can help increase the diversity in your gut microbiome. So as you are looking to reduce the population of something that's not super helpful, we want to bring in more diversity in the other populations of bacteria. So when you are taking the care to bring in probiotics in your probiotic foods and supplements, you do want to feed those bugs by bringing in as many plant foods as you can. Thirdly, we're going to want to take probiotics. Probiotic supplement when you are looking to clear Candida overgrowth out is going to really support you rebalancing your gut microbiome. Finding one with 5 to 7 different strains in it is the best practice and helps promote that diversity that we're looking for that can actually help sweep out and prevent these overgrowths from happening in the first place. I always recommend my friends and my clients be taking probiotics along with probiotic foods because there's so many strains that they cannot culture and put into a probiotic supplement that can be found in really good probiotic foods such as kefir, yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi. These are some examples of probiotic foods. Kombucha can be good. Try to find one with low sugar. I think that it bears repeating that sometimes we don't want to go in and add a probiotic food that has a ton of added sugar, and kombucha can be one of those choices that does tend to be higher on the sugar side. So do keep that in mind as you're looking for your probiotic foods and be mindful of the choices and the goals that you have. Whenever we're doing anything with the gut, we want to make it a stress reduction season. And if you're somebody who rolls your eyes every time somebody says, look for stress reduction techniques, you're the person I'm talking to. I honestly am that person, so I can take that advice to heart myself. Like, there's something to be said about reducing stress because our gut and our brain are so closely linked, and just the way that our gut communicates to our brain and helps send signals to repair, leak, all of the things. You want to make sure that you're sending your brain the right signals and also sending your gut the right signals. My favorite one is just laying flat, looking at the ceiling in bed, doing a diaphragmatic breathing technique where I'm allowing my abdomen to expand and allowing my breath to go in for 4 seconds, holding for 7, and then exhaling for 8. This is something that you can do every single day, 3 to 5 minutes. It's going to do wonders for you and prevent further issues with stress in your gut. Other things you can consider is exercise, meditative practices, prayer. I think that breathing is such a good nervous system relaxer, and that's why I went into the detail of explaining it. So I hope that was supportive and helpful for you guys as you start to cleanse your body from Candida. I invite you to stick around, subscribe, like this video, because next week we're going to be talking about how to deal with the symptoms of Candida detox. I don't want you to miss this one because it's going to be super important in your next steps. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one, and you take care.